Welcome back to another Disney conversation. We're glad you joined us this week. Before we look at the news, let's meet the panel.
Hey guys, it's your boy Splash here.
Hey, what's up? I'm Sparkles.
It's the best kind of steak, T-bone.
Welcome, guys. This is Disney conversation number 3. And being that you've done 3 of these now, what do you think? Is it fun to look at the news and get together each week to do this?
Yeah.
I think it's great, but I'm ready to go back now.
Yeah.
I'm learning more than I ever knew about it, so. Yeah.
Well, good deal. Well, let's jump right into the news. Today is April the 26th, 2017, and yesterday was a date back in 1990 when Steve Jobs shut down Pixar's hardware division. And I don't know if you guys remember, y'all were pretty young. In fact, you weren't born yet, but Steve Jobs, I know you've heard of him.
Okay.
And he left Apple Computer and founded a company called Pixar, which originally built computers to compete against the likes of Apple and IBM. And the company wasn't doing really well, so he shut down the hardware division and focused totally on 3D animated movie production. And they started with shorts. But you guys know Pixar, obviously, and the first Toy Story that came out and all the movies afterwards. But what do you think? How would movies be different today had Steve Jobs' new computer been successful and we would have never had Pixar? What do you think?
I don't think animation would have been completely different. I think it would have taken a long time for animation to get where it is today if we didn't have Pixar in those movies. But I think it definitely made a huge difference. I mean, heck, it was a rebound job, and it was still good.
I don't know that the quality of animated movies would be as good as it is today. I think Pixar by far was the game changer in that category. And I think without them stepping up and starting to make good movies, companies like Disney wouldn't have been forced to compete as much. So,
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, T-Bone, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it kind of has had a domino effect because with Pixar starting to be what it is, and what it started to be a few years ago, it has made companies like Disney start to try to up their game when it comes to that. And it's also been able to increase quality of different animated movies. Like DreamWorks has to try to compete with Pixar, which is always good for a consumer from a consumer standpoint.
You
I
also
think
have
that's
to, oh, shoot, sorry. I was gonna say you have to remember Disney drew everything. Every movie that they made was hand drawn, which took forever. So I definitely like introducing animation and just animation to it. Changed everything. Yeah.
Do you like the hand-drawn animation? You know, I'm thinking we talked about Beauty and the Beast last week, and if you look at the original Beauty and the Beast animated movie, it had a particular look to it, and then Toy Story had a much different look to me. Do you like one over the other?
I don't have a preference as long as the movie is well created. I don't really have a preference for how it's animated.
I think you're right. There is a very distinct difference between computer generated and hand drawn animation. I think the computer generated flows a little bit better. It's a little more fluid. Um, but I think that's just personal preference. I know some older people who are used to the hand-drawn animation, I'm sure probably still prefer that over all of the creative graphic effects that we have today. But I think that all of those effects enhances the movie and allows the creators to do more with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if you've read much about Steve Jobs, but what what a tremendous life that man had, and how he affected our lives as much as he did. We wouldn't be doing this podcast today if it weren't for Steve Jobs. So hats off to that man.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, story number 2. Speaking of movies and animated movies, Frozen was not a Pixar movie. It was a Disney movie. But big announcement this week. Frozen 2 is slated to be released November 27th, 2019. So still a few years away. But I don't know. Are you over Frozen, or are you looking forward to it?
I think when it gets here, I will go see it. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of hype still with Frozen, but it is a few years away. So I think between now and then, there's going to be a few more good animated movies that will come out. And I think after those, we'll be ready for another Frozen.
No, I'm ready. I think they did the animated short with, like, I think it was on his birthday, which kind of was, everybody was like, okay, we don't know if we're going to second the movie or not, or this is like, but this is still good. And it was just a short little thing. So I think with the new one coming out, it'll get a lot of hype. I'm excited for it. Yeah.
I'm also excited for it, but just 2 more years before Let It Go comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they can write a song that'll be as popular as Let It Go.
So they're going to have to really work for it.
It's going to be hard to beat.
You know, this doesn't have anything to do with the Frozen movie, but, you know, I have to think back to Christmas last year when we went to Epcot. And, you know, we spent a week at Disney at Christmas, and we had on purpose saved the new Frozen ride there at Epcot to be the very last thing we did before we left. And so we are literally minutes away from leaving the park. We go to get in line because it's our fast pass time, and they shut the door right in front of us.
I'm going to say we were at the door.
We were walking into the thing, and we had to settle for Test Track.
I know they made us leave. You know, they've had lots of problems with that new Frozen ride, and we keep hearing that lines have been long and people enjoy that, and we still haven't got to experience it. Do you forgive Disney for having those mistakes, or I mean, why in the world do you think they're having so many problems with that ride?
I think. Go ahead.
No, go T-Bone.
I think that it should have been tested just a little more if they're having these kinds of problems. I don't think it was tested to a certain extent to where it was completely ready to be opened. So I think if they could have just tried to hold it off a little longer to make sure everything would run smoothly, I think that would have been a better approach to it rather than opening it as soon as possible.
From what I've heard, the level of technology that's in this Frozen ride is greater than anything they have so far. Am I right?
Really?
That's what, you know, some of the characters are actually projected onto animatronics, you know, kind of like what you saw on the Buzz Lightyear thing where Buzz would meet you there while you're waiting in line, that kind of stuff.
Right. See, I think with that level of technology, you can test and test and test all you want to, but until you put it into a real world situation and really get it running, I don't think you'll ever get the bugs out. I do think that they should get it fixed as quickly as possible, and that they shouldn't continue to have these problems too much further into the future. But I think being that it's new and it's actually in full use and in production now, I think to an extent, yes, they're going to have problems, but being that it is Disney, you know, you should expect that they're going to keep decreasing those pretty quickly as time goes on.
Well, let me ask you this. We're 2.5 years away from Frozen 2, and we're all talking about it. But, you know, Epcot itself, as we talk about the ride, is based on countries. It has all the food, all the authenticity of the areas and that they try to recreate. Frozen's not real. It's not even based on a real country. I'm just curious, do you think they should have put that frozen ride inside a country area, which in this case was Norway. I guess some similarities in that it gets cold in Norway, but other than that, it's not real. Should they have put the frozen ride in the World Showcase?
Well, I think that the area that Frozen is based on is a lot like Norway, but where else would you put it? Where would be a more fitting spot in Walt Disney World?
I think it could still be in Epcot. Speaking of that, I think if you try to move it to Magic Kingdom or something, I mean, I guess it'd be okay, but you'd have to put it in like a fantasy area or something. I think it's good in Epcot, but they have rides like Test Track and In the Sea with like Finding Nemo. They have all of those rides like that. I think they could have put it somewhere, whether it be by Nemo or something like that, in the park of Epcot where more of the rides and things are, and not in the World Showcase. Just because it does kind of break the realism of you're in that country for the World Showcase.
Yeah, that's really true. How it could have gone to another place around maybe Nemo or somewhere, because the World Showcase is all about embracing yourself and like the culture of whatever country you're walking through. And I think by having something that isn't real, like an animated movie, I don't think it really fits in well with the whole trying to immerse yourself in the culture. So I also agree that it still could be an Epcot, just probably it shouldn't have been put in the World Showcase.
What they should have done is take out the Frozen sing-along at Hollywood Studios and put this Frozen ride where the Frozen sing-along goes.
You didn't like the sing along?
I think I would rather do this actual Frozen ride than the sing-along. It was entertaining, but I still think I would like to do this ride more.
I say they keep the sing along and find a place to put it by the sing along.
Well, maybe instead of Star Wars Land, they should have just built Frozen Land.
No, I'm going to be honest. That's where I draw the line. I want Star Wars Land.
Frozen's good, but it's not that good.
Exactly. A little biased, but that's okay.
All right. Our next story goes to Disney World. And the Four Seasons is a hotel, of course. It was built a couple of years ago near the Magic Kingdom. It's a very nice hotel. But along next to that, they're now building houses where people can actually live there near the Magic Kingdom. Golden Oak area. And this development kind of near the hotel is going to have 30 homes. It'll be completely owned by people, single-family homes on half-acre lots. And 2 houses have already been built, and one of them is on the market, and one of them is sold. I don't know. Should we go look at a house? They start at $5 million. What do you think?
I mean, you basically get to live at Walt Disney World. So, I don't know. I think maybe you should go house shopping and then invite us to come visit all the time.
Well, there is one house that's already built, and it's on the market for $7.3 million. And you have access to the hotel amenities.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't include any park tickets, though.
See, it would be great if you could get Disney dining while living there.
Uh-huh.
Be set. I think it's neat, though, that you get the access to all of the amenities, except dry cleaning and laundry services. That's an additional fee. But you get the pool and all that. So, I mean, that's nice.
There's also a pool in the house itself, but I mean, how could you reject going to a Disney resort?
I think for the price that they're asking and not giving some sort of like way to get into the park for maybe maybe something like a discounted price on tickets every so often. I think that if you're going to pay $7.3 million for a house, that there should be something like maybe a discount on park tickets or something to go along with that.
You
But
know, Tom,
that's just me.
you don't know this, but if we lived in Florida, you can actually have a resident ticket. It's an annual pass. I guess anybody can buy an annual pass for that matter, but you can buy an annual pass. It's about, I'm going to guess, starting around $500 a year. They have different levels.
You're right, but it's discounted for Florida residents.
Right.
Well, never mind.
So there's your discounted ticket. And can you imagine? I mean, you live literally minutes from the Magic Kingdom. You could go every day.
So you pop the fireworks at night from there.
You might even be able to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the question, though. If you live there every day, would you go to Disney World every day?
No.
Probably not. I feel like it'd be if you ever like. I feel like if you can afford that house, you're probably really, really rich. So probably make that like a summer home or something.
I do think I would go more so for the restaurants than going just to be in the park. I would go to dinner, let's say at Crystal Palace. You know, I would do things like that. But no, I wouldn't be there every night.
Well, it's interesting you say that because there's lots of places in the world to have a buffet like the Crystal Palace. So why would you choose the Crystal Palace?
Well, the Crystal Palace was one of my favorite park restaurants, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. But if you're going to pay $7.3 million to live at Walt Disney World, surely you have to like being there a little bit.
Like the food, yeah.
I mean, you have to like that atmosphere. So personally, I would do probably the Crystal Palace a lot and Tusker House at Animal Kingdom. And Harbor House for lunch. You can't miss Harbor House.
You gotta remember Disney Springs and stuff like that too, because that's like shopping places and like a Hard Rock Cafe and all that right there as well. So.
Okay, well, pack your bags. I think we're going to load the truck up and move to Orlando. Are y'all ready?
Yep.
Just tell me when. I'll fly down there.
Okay.
I don't want to drive it, but I'll fly.
What about you, T-Bone? Do you want to live there?
If you have the money to, of course. I mean,
Tyler, you're paying for it. What are you talking
Come
about?
on, man.
Good job, Tyler. All right, our next story goes to it's a blog called Hype, and they have listed their 11 best Disney soundtrack songs of all time. So we're talking about movie soundtrack songs, the best of all time. So let's go through the list, and as we go through it, be thinking about if you would leave it in this spot, if it would be higher, lower. See if you agree with these guys. Are y'all ready?
Yeah.
Okay, number 11, When You Wish Upon a Star by Pinocchio. So think about it a minute. Very iconic Disney song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 10, Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Number 9, Zero to Hero from Hercules. And number 8, and I guess I'll just break the list up right here. Number 8, Let It Go by Frozen.
Do you think that'd be in like number 1 or number 2?
Yeah.
Top 3 at least.
Now, it doesn't say most popular songs, it says best songs. So
Yeah.
I still say it should be higher.
Higher than number 8.
I don't know if it's just because it gets stuck in my head so easily or what, but
okay, number 7, Reflection from Mulan.
Yeah.
Number 6, Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas. Number 5, Beauty and the Beast from the movie Beast. Number 4, Circle of Life from Lion King.
Yeah.
Number 3, Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast. I believe that's number 3 from the Beauty and the Beast soundtrack.
Yeah.
Number 2, A Whole New World from Aladdin. And number 1 on this list was Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid. What do you think? Is that the perfect list, or is there some mistakes there?
I didn't expect Part of Your World number 1. I knew it would probably be in the list, but I didn't expect it number 1.
Well, Allison, which one would be better
Oh, gosh.
than that one?
I don't know. A Whole New World is a good one, but I love Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. But they have a lot of Beauty and the Beast songs on here. I don't know. I think that probably would be my number 1 would be Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Or Colors of the Wind, something like that. I don't know if I'd put Belle from Beauty and the Beast on here. Like, it's a great song, but I don't know if that's probably one of the best. Yeah.
You know what needs to be on here now that it's Disney? The Imperial March or the Darth Vader entrance.
That's true.
It's not much of a song, but I mean, that's pretty iconic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when they play that at Hollywood Studios, doesn't everybody stop and look?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole front of the park is just packed for that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm surprised too that Part of Your World got number 1.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have put it up that high.
It's like, it's a great song, but I don't know.
Circle of Life, to me, is probably a top 3. I know it's right there at number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's iconic. I mean, it's just good.
I think Be Our Guest is too, personally. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think when you hear that, you immediately know what it is, and you just get excited.
Sparkles, I bet you'll remember who sang Be Our Guest in the new movie.
Ewan McGregor. Well, he was Lumiere, but
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi was singing Beauty Our Guest.
Well, I thought Lumiere was the one that sang that song, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who was he?
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Imagine pulling out a lightsaber, just be, and he started beating stuff up.
There's your Star Wars connection right there.
Yeah.
T-Bone, any other thoughts about the list?
I probably would keep the songs in here the same, but I would probably change the order. I would probably have to think about it for a little bit. But yeah, I think all the songs in here are very good and iconic songs.
I am a little surprised that a song from Moana didn't make it on here.
Yeah.
I thought that had a few good songs in it.
Plus, they had Lin-Manuel Miranda writing all those songs, and he is a good writer. I mean, really good. So, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Exactly. I mean, how do you not put that on the list?
I know.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with anything, but did y'all know that Dwayne Johnson was the highest paid actor in the United States last year?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Yeah,
Sure was.
I can see that.
There's not many songs more iconic than number 11, though, When You Wish Upon a Star.
Yeah.
Well, when we were on our Disney cruise, that was the song the horn played. You remember?
Yeah.
When we were parked by the carnival boat and they played our foghorn, it was When You Wish Upon a Star.
You'd think that'd be higher, but yeah.
They're all pretty good songs. You know,
Yeah.
and a lot of Disney movies have gone on to be reproduced on Broadway as Broadway shows. I'm sure it's been written many times. I don't know that I can remember exactly where I saw this, but Walt Disney himself really learned how to take Broadway in New York to the masses with these movies, and the soundtracks are so important, probably more than anything else.
Yeah. You know what else I think should be on here? The song from Mary Poppins.
Yeah. What, the spoonful of sugar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I think these were all animated movies, right?
Yeah.
Well, it is half animated.
Yes, it was half animated. You're right. Right, it was.
So I'm reaching a little bit, but yeah.
Everybody knows it.
All right. Any other thoughts about the soundtrack before we move on?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Last story of the week. Pandora Land. They're at Animal Kingdom. A little bit of news coming out about the inner workings of that new land. A news report came out this week that 700 people were hired to work just in the new Pandora Land. To compare that, about 5,000 people work in all of Animal Kingdom. So, pretty good bump right there for that land. Most of the jobs are not high-paying jobs. Most of them are food and beverage employees, ride attendants, but there's also engineers and management positions that go along with that. I'm just curious, does that number surprise you? 700 people hired to work in this new part of the park. Does that seem like a high number or a low number?
I think that seems pretty high. Of course, I haven't seen Pandora yet, so I don't really know what to expect. But I think I was surprised to see that many people.
I mean, it's high. I feel like I could see it higher though, just because it is a new world, and it says I don't even think a lot of these are going to be just technicians. I mean, it says a lot of the people that were hired are dealing with a bunch of technology and things because it'll be so not technology based, but it'll have so much to do with technology in this. They need a lot of people to run all that. But I feel like
right. But when you think about it, this is only a section of Animal Kingdom. And Animal Kingdom itself isn't even the biggest park.
yeah, it's not. But since, like I said, I can almost see them hiring more. I don't know, a lot of people, but still.
I have really high expectations now, though, after seeing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably going to be very big and everything's going to be just huge if 700 people are working just off a section of a park.
Well, speaking of the park, we're looking at, of course, planning our next trip, and if we go this December, we've never spent a whole day at Animal Kingdom. And I was actually giving it some thought today that maybe we will. I mean, maybe that is a full day now. What do y'all think? Can you find enough to do with the new land and with what we've done in the past to stay at Animal Kingdom from open to close?
Definitely. I think the way that Pandora is probably going to work and just how there's going to be so much to see and so much to do there, I think when you combine that with the rest of Animal Kingdom, I think it definitely could provide a full day's worth of entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I also think we don't really spend the full day there because we know what all is there. I mean, we've done just about everything. We've gone through everything we know. But with this new land, that'll give us a chance to spend a little more time to explore and get to know this new area, which will be nice. And then go ahead and do all the stuff that we already know. So yeah, that'll definitely probably take a full day, if not more.
Well, and then you add Rivers of Light, which is something else that we thought we were going to get to see this past December, and it wasn't open yet.
Yeah.
So actually, it looks like all the new happening stuff is at Animal Kingdom right now.
Yeah, which is good. I think that's probably been the part that most people, if you're going to Disney World, you skip almost. I hate to say it, but it is. So it's good that they're adding all this to it. Sorry.
See, I think Animal Kingdom, even with the new land, would still only be a half-day thing. Like spend the whole afternoon, but I would not be there from park open to park close. I think I would still rather go to like Hollywood Studios for the morning before going over to Animal Kingdom. Just because there is more to see at Animal Kingdom than there is compared to some other parks, but there are far less attractions. So once you do Expedition Everest and the safaris and the new land and Rivers of Light, that's really about it.
So I'll
Just in
take
my
it
opinion.
you're impressed with the new rebuild of Dinosaur.
Okay, I forgot about Dinosaur. That's one more, but that's it.
Well, I'll be honest. They redid it and all, but I didn't. It's not one of my favorite rides.
I would not put it over Rock and Roller Coaster.
True.
Are you talking about Dinosaur?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or Expedition Everest, for that matter, I don't think. It was thrilling just because of, it was intense. There's dinosaurs jumping out at you. But as far as just thrill, I think Expedition Everest is still more thrilling.
Yes.
They did better than my expectations with Dinosaur before we rode it for the first time. But true. The roller coasters still have it.
You're right. I don't think Dinosaur is on my list of things you have to do every trip, unlike some other things.
Would Expedition Everest be on that gotta do list?
If we are going to Animal Kingdom, then yes. But if we're just going to skip Animal Kingdom entirely, I would be okay. If it meant I got to do another trip on Rock and Roller Coaster or something, or Space Mountain, I would pick one of those before that too.
So Pandora Land's pretty important to you then, Splash, because you'd probably not even go if it wasn't there.
I think just because we've done it enough, it's kind of the same every time that we've been. And so I just personally enjoy the studios in the Magic Kingdom more than I do Animal Kingdom.
Okay, well let's take a few minutes here at the end of our conversation to kind of pre-plan a little bit. We all know if you follow Disney reservations at all, you know that free dining was released this past week, and we did that last time and found that to be a pretty good deal for us. So we booked a 5-night, 6-day December trip with free dining, right?
Mhm.
But we were thinking that we might want to do things a little different. Maybe spend half the time in the parks and then half the time exploring new resort builds that they're doing and that kind of stuff. So let's do a quick top 5 things we think we have to do if we go to Disney World. What 5 things are on the must-do list?
Magic Kingdom Dole Whip.
Okay, Magic Kingdom in general, everything. We've got to eat there. We have to see the new fireworks show, the Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
We've got to do Space Mountain. We've got to do all of that in the Magic Kingdom.
So Magic Kingdom is just in general.
Yeah.
Yes.
If we're gonna do in general, Hollywood Studios is a must-do as well. Come on.
Yes.
So is Hollywood Studios, is it, with all the construction going on there and with so much that has been closed and our dining experience at Hollywood Studios this last time, while it was okay, And
What
they
a
are really
test.
struggling with restaurants at Hollywood Studios. I mean, I guess my question is Hollywood Studios a full day or is it a 3/4 day? I mean, can you half and half Hollywood Studios with Animal Kingdom?
I could do
This
that. Well, because I would just want to go to Hollywood Studios for Tower of Terror, the Rock and Roller Coaster,
Maybe the
and maybe
fireworks.
Star Tours, or well, But if we're doing Rivers of Light at Animal Kingdom, I'd rather see that for fireworks. But really, I mean, we have to do Star Tours if we're there.
Yeah.
But in terms of fast passes, I think we have to get one for the Rock and Roller Coaster. And then I guess it would just kind of depend, Tower of Terror or something in Animal Kingdom.
Tower Terror.
But see, I would want to split half and half. Morning at Hollywood Studios, and then just spend the afternoon and watch the fireworks at Animal Kingdom.
Okay. Well, what else is on the must-do list?
Well,
You haven't
if
said
we go
anything
to
about
Epcot,
Yeah.
do what?
I said you haven't said anything about Epcot. So is there anything there that makes your must-do list?
If we're going, I would like to do soaring. And I really like the fireworks show there. So if we're there at night, I would want to go see the fireworks show. And then maybe go to eat. I was about to say, if we're going to eat, we've got to do Tepanetto.
Oh yeah.
That was by far one of my favorite meals. So,
T-Bone, any thoughts about your must-do?
I mean, there's nothing really I can say that hasn't already been covered, but just going to all the different, like Magic Kingdom, obviously is a must-do, but yeah, there's nothing I can really say that hasn't already been covered.
Okay, Sparkles, any final words on must-dos at Disney World?
I think I'm good too. Besides Dole Whip and Tepanetto, I'm good.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say all of it's a must-do. I think we've had fun with everything we've done there.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Well, guys, that was a Disney conversation in the books. Number 3.
Number 3. Wow.
Yeah, we're going to triple your pay next week. Good job, guys.
Woo!
3.
I've been waiting for it.
The check is in the mail.
Okay.
Guys, we're getting $3.
I thought it was 3 pennies.
I want to talk to the person who's getting paid anything. Who is
I
it?
know. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for another great conversation. And next week, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Sounds
a plan.
like a plan.
Can't wait.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.